ladies and gents, this is another video brought to you by Answered. And today's video is going to be about my 4,000 plus Pheidole Nodas and having a Queenfest. And you'll know what I mean in a second. But first I want to talk about my Patreon page. You know about it, I've spoken about it before. The link will be in the description below. But do know that all the money that I get from this does go back into my channel. Hence why I've got a shiny new mic that I'm using for the first time. These guys, Ant Antics, Adrian T, David D, PJ Grant and Wakushi were kind enough to help support my channel and pay for this. And if you want to do the same, check out the link in the description. My current setup's this, where I've got the double-decker nest, Wakushi nest, and I've got the Ant Kit air den in the background there. I've got two outworlds, that one there and one in the back there that you can't see in this photo. But if you haven't seen the video where I attached these two nests together, it's in the top right corner now, and you'll be able to get a good lowdown on the current setup. As you can see from this photo, they have moved into this top nest and they've moved the majority of their brood, if not all of their brood from what I can tell. And if you look at the outworld in the background there, this was how it was before I attached it, and you can see how busy they are. And now I've got this new nest on, this is how the outworld now, so you can see there's a big difference in activity in the outworlds. So I kind of use that as a target indication I need to expand. But anyway, this isn't about a new nest and needing to expand. If I grab the macro lens and have a look at the top MS double-decker nest bit, then you can see what's going on inside. And I love using the macro lens because you can see so much detail. Yes, there's not a lot of brood here, but you will see it in a second. And Pheidoles, as you well know, they're teeny tiny anyway. So it's really good to be able to get a macro lens and have a look at them. And because I've had the red filter is the word I was looking for, off for a little while, they've calmed down and stopped panicking and running around everywhere like blue-ass flies. But yeah, you can really get good detail and you can really see what the behaviour is. But if you look at this bulge here, where's the arrow? There it is. That's actually a queen. But I'm going to talk about that in a bit more detail in a bit. But you'll see why I'm pointing around in a bit. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Here they've got plenty of brood. There's another major there. And when I first thought it was another queen, but it's not. It's a major. And they've got brood all over the place, and which is really cool. And you can see here as well them processing a kill that I put in 2 days ago. They're processing it down now and giving it to the larvae. Now these guys don't half process down cockroaches. They don't really leave much of an exoskeleton as well. If they're really hungry, they'll actually turn that into powder and feed it to the young as well. So they'll even chow down on the exoskeleton, which is also really cool. Now I personally have never seen a larvae queen, to be honest, especially against the glass like this. So I definitely had to stop and get some good footage of her as well. Little baby queen, she looks awesome. I know what you're thinking. Hood, you said this was a Queenfest. I've seen one queen and that was a rubbish picture. What are you talking about? Oh wait, my friends. Wait, there's one there. There you go. No, wait. You'll see how many queens this Connolly's got. And I think I may have spotted some unusual behaviour, or a behaviour I wasn't expecting of Pheidole. Now this is what I'm talking about when I say Queenfest. Look how many queens are running around. Absolutely loads. They're all over the place, and you can see here. Where are they? Once they calm down, you'll get to see the three reproducing queens. There's two, and there's the third there. There you go, 3 queens there that I originally had with this Connolly when I first bought them. Looks like they're all doing well. And if you look there, there's the queen that lost her leg. Oh wow, that is cool. So she's still alive as well, and I predicted that she was going to get eaten by the workers. So that's good news. But if we pan around, you can see here I've got loads and loads of queens and majors are lurking around here too. So they're doing really well. They seem to have moved most of the brood out of this nest where they were predominantly in the old setup and moved it upstairs, but there just seems to be some brood kicking around as well. But you can see I don't even know how many queens I've got, but they're having a queen rave there. Honestly, if it was a queen concert, you'd want to come to this place because the music would be banging, because there's loads of them. Have a quick look inside the nest with the macro lens because everyone loves a bit of detail. It's a bit fuzzy here because there's loads of workers on the glass, but you can focus through and get a good look at the wee queens there. If you look at this queen here, she's got a really swollen abdomen or thorax or butt or whatever you want to call it. Now, as far as I'm aware, they don't generally use the young queens as replete, so either she's full of food, or she's full of eggs, or she's been mated. Now, she hasn't left the nest, so mated might not be something you think of, but there's some observations that I've been making which have starting to make me think that these guys inbreed. Now, they don't inbreed as far as I'm aware, because you know you've got the original 3 queens that were in the video a second ago. Well, look here, there's a 4th with no wings, but I only had 3 to start with, so that's 4. And then, if you cast your mind back to early in the video as well, I said there was a queen on the top deck. Now I'm going to talk about her in more detail in a second, because it kind of relates to what I'm talking about now. But that's 5 queens. I started with 3. Now, as far as I'm aware, as I said, I don't know that Pheidole's inbreed. If they do, it's news to me. And if you know that they do, please leave a comment in this video so you can tell me, look, there's a queen there, one of the original queens, and you can just see her getting fed through prophylaxis as well. So that's pretty cool. Tangent over, sorry guys. So leave a comment in the description, because that's where I write. Leave a comment on the video and let me know if you know if these are inbreeding or not, because as far as I'm aware, they don't. So why have I got 5 queens? The only thing I can think of is inbreeding. Now, you don't see many males when I'm panning around in either top deck or bottom deck, but I have seen them running around. There is a couple when I was doing my video or when I was just checking on the nest just before I was in between doing the videos, clips as it were. I've seen them, so they are running around in there, but there's not very many of them, to be honest. Compared to queens, there's hardly any at all. But this is a proper Queenfest. There is queens everywhere. As I was panning around, I noticed that there was 2 queens getting fed through prophylaxis by a small worker. But if you look at the queen to the right of the 2 and the one in the bottom right corner, you can see that their abdomens, butts, whatever you want to call it, doing a bit of a butt dance. Now, apart from looking cool, I don't know if that little butt dance is because it's an indication they want food or anything like that, because I just thought they stroked antennae to indicate that one. So why they're dancing pretty much in time, no idea. Yet again, if you know, by all means leave a comment to tell me what they're doing, because I've never seen it before. Yet again, I've never seen this many queens cutting around the nest, so maybe it's an indication of numbers ready to fly, who knows, or just hungry, because sometimes when I get hungry I dance around, and sometimes when I need the toilet really badly I dance around. Maybe they need a wee, who knows. Before I go on to the top deck queen, let me show you around the air den. Now the air den's not really being used to store brood in any shape or form, but there is a lot of majors cutting around in here, and there's quite a few queens in here as well, and workers of course, but they've moved all of the brood out of this now and moved to the top deck of the double decker nest. But they're still making use of this nest as living space, I'd imagine, probably because it's dark and it's the right humidity. But if you look there is a male, and that was what I was talking about before. There are few and far between, but there is males cutting around still, so maybe they are mating with the queens, who knows. I don't. Now we go back to the top deck queen. I had to disturb her quite a fair bit because I could not get any decent footage of her, but I knew something was amiss because there was workers around her and they were clamping onto her again. Now I've made the assumption when a worker's clamped onto a queen that they're going to finish her off, and you can clearly see that the queen in the earlier footage has still got 5 legs because she had one cut off by a worker, which I filmed way back when I first got these guys. So I've been wrong before, so I don't think they're attacking her. I think they're trying to pull her wings off, believe it or not. This next bit of footage is going to be in real time, but I'm going to slow it right down because it's very short, but there is so much detail of what's going on here. You can clearly see what's on her back. You can clearly see the workers doing their stuff with her as well. Now, have a watch and let me know what you think's going on, and I'll talk about what I think, and then you guys can say yes, that sounds about right. No, it's wrong. But if you look here as well, her abdomen's dancing again. Now I know that Camponotus communicate like that, but I didn't know that Pheidole did, so I don't know if it's a communication method or not. But I've slowed it right down, as you can see here, and the workers are clearly manhandling her, and I personally think that those things coming out of the side are chewed up wings that they're trying to help her pull off, because originally I only thought ants had two big wings and that was it, but apparently they have 4, 2 big, 2 small. So it is very feasible that the 2 things coming out of the side are in fact chewed up wings. Now, if they are chewed up wings and they are helping to pull them off, why are they? Because as far as I'm aware, Pheidole Nodas don't inbreed in the nest. I know some Pheidoles do, but Nodas, to my knowledge, aren't one of them. So this kind of indicates to me they can be doing 2 or 1 things. One, she's mated in the nest and they're pulling her wings off because she doesn't need them anymore, and she's going to start reproducing. Or 2, which some ant species do this, but I'm not sure off the top of my head what, that when they produce queens, if they're not any use to them, I think it might be Myrmicarubras do this, I can't remember, but they'll make the queens be workers. But I have got a load of queens and I've still not seen any of the queens do any of the work. It's always been the workers. So that is unlikely to me. So that kind of indicates to me only one thing's going on. They are trying to pull her wings off because she's mated, and I've now got 5 queens. But 5 queens from 3. You see, the other queen as well that we spoke about, a lone queen, when we first talked about them having multiple queens again, she had her wings off at that point, but she was clearly a queen. I don't know what's going on. If you guys do, by all means, please leave a comment. Tell me what your observations are of my footage. Tell me what you think's going on, because I am uber keen to find out. I love this side of ant keeping, seeing something new and unusual, something you wasn't expecting, and then bam, you can talk about it with your fellow YouTubers, and I love doing this kind of stuff. So that is it for today. I will call it a day on the last bit of this queen getting dragged off by the workers until I stop the footage. Please, please, please leave a comment and tell me what you think's going on. Do they inbreed? Do they not inbreed? Am I making a big thing out of nothing because they're a well-known inbreeding species? Probably, because Hood's stupid. But love your feedback. Please let me know. As always, guys, you know I've got a Patreon page. The link will be in the description below. Check out the link in the top right corner now, so you can watch the Pheidole playlist from when I first got them to the monsters that they are now. I've also got a Facebook and Instagram page. Just search for Ants Hood on both and you'll find me. And as always, the Wakushi discount code Ants Hood will be in down below as well, along with his website. Anyway, I'll stop talking rubbish. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sticking out this long. And if you like me, please subscribe. If not, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye for now.